So good morning and welcome to my today's presentation. We are going to start a new chapter today, which is weather forecasting and satellite meteorology. Although you have another chapter at the very last that weather forecasting system in Bangladesh, but we do also include this weather forecasting in this chapter because in this chapter we are going to discuss about the different weather forecasting systems and not process, how the weather forecasting system can be represented through the audience by different organizations, and what is the relationship between the meteorology satellite meteorology and the weather forecasting, how satellite images can be used in the weather forecasting system. So that's why this is included in this chapter. And another chapter at the very last where we will gonna discuss about the particularly the organizations involved in weather forecasting system in Bangladesh, and how they are normally using their practices to forecast their weathers. We're going to see that things in the weather forecasting system in Bangladesh. So basically the same forecasting system, but the two different aspects we are going to discuss in two different chapters. So in this chapter, in this chapter, we are going to discuss about, first of all, few weather symbols and the, as it is written, the station model. That means how the weather symbols can be represented by the different organizations in their websites. We are going to discuss very elaborately in this class. And in the next topic, we are going to discuss about a wind scale, which is inaugurated by Beaufort, over the land and sea also. Here, although it is written only over the land, but we're gonna see on the also on the sea, how each of the grading system, what does it means, what does it each of the rating means. And in the middle of this chapter, we are going to discuss about the weather forecasting concept. What are the different knowledges we need, what are the different tools we can use, and what are the methods we can use for forecasting a weather. And the very at the last of this chapter, we are going a little bit elaborately about the satellite system, how they can be used in case of weather forecasting. As there was no course before, you have already undertaken that what different aspects of the satellite images. So what I'm going to do, that I'm going to discuss about few things, introduction things of the satellites, and then little bit about the development of the satellites, and then how we can use these satellite images in our weather forecasting. Actually, there is another course in your fourth chapter, which is remote aerial photogrammetry, remote sensing, and GIS. In that case, we are going to discuss about more about the satellite concept. But in as in your this chapter, you have something which is related to weather forecasting. So we are going to describe only those parts which can be directly influence the weather forecasting patterns nowadays. So there are a couple of links you can see in these slides. Basically, we're going to discuss about today about three different organizations from three countries. One is UK Met Office UK. Another is National Weather Service of NOAA. And then very last, we are going to also see some of them, some of the patterns of the Bangladesh Meteorological Department, how they are representing their weather forecast to their audiences. So let's start from the UK Met Office. Maybe this one. Okay. Can you see the website now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So let's start from here. Before I start the weather patterns, how they can be seen, we should discuss about the symbols. because symbols can be represented to the audience differently. Your organizations or your country can describe a symbol of rainfall which is very different to another countries. It might be possible. For example, in case of Met Office, you can just see these weather symbols, and you can also choose any on for describing your patterns. But on the other hand, many other organizations, they can show the same aspects in different symbols. It might be possible. So let's begin with the UK Met Office, because it is a very widely accepted organizations that gives the weather forecasting system in for most of the big cities throughout the world. So we can get very good information from there, and we should also try to remember some of the weather symbols so that we can also explain it during our weather forecasting system. Let's see this one. The very first one, it means, as you see, this is a sign of the moon. So there is nothing with that one, and it is not shaded. So it is a clear night symbol. If you see a symbol of the sun, this is a sunny day. And if you see with both of them, if you have some cloud, then you can say partly cloud. So partly cloud at night and partly cloud during the day. You can also say this is sunny intervals. That means you can see the sun, but a couple of times that can be interrupted by the clouds. If you see this one which is shaded, that means your sky is overcasted, full of cloud has covered whole of the sky. If you see one of the drop from the sky, from this cloud, one drop, that means you have little amount of the rainfall or light rainfall, or you can say uh, a little amount of the rainfall. But if you say a couple, two of them, then you can say this is heavy rain. And during your heavy rain, if you also included sun and moon, then that also give you the idea about night and day. So only think about this one. We are not going to discuss about that thing. The same thing is in here. So you can get part from here. You can see light rain. This is light rain. This is heavy rain. This is slit. If you see a star with if you see a star with a rainfall drop, then it should be a slit. And hail should be written as hail, and only star means this is light snow. If it is a double one, then it is a heavy snow. And if you see the thunder sign, then it would be a thunderbolt. So you can understand these symbols, and these symbols can be represented in your weather forecasting pattern. So in your weather forecasting pattern, there will be nothing written like your cloud will be covered or your cloud will be open. That would not be written. So in UK Met Office, they only show these symbols so that you can understand. On the other hand, many websites, like in case of Bangladesh, mostly that is in a written form. That means your a drizzle will be happen or heavy shower will be happen. Like this is the thing how they written in their websites. So now the question is, which one is better? Actually, that depends on the users. What users wanted to know what. So according to my vision, what I can understand, normally the people like to get more information through the symbols rather than through reading it. If you wanted to read it, you need time, and most of the time people are not providing their time or not invest their time to understand information. So information should be much more easier to get. So that's why they shows the information in symbols. For example, chance of precipitations. A 70% chance means in every 70 cases of 100, there is a chance of the precipitation. That means in 30% chances, there will be not a precipitation that will gonna happen. So that also very interesting, because what does it mean if the chance is that? Chance means there is uncertainties. You have some uncertainties always in your models, and then this chance allow you to make it happen. And in that case, you can say, well, if there is no rain, that means the chance is not accepted, and not been happened. So there is always 50-50 chance, 60-40 chance, 70-30 chance. That also give you the idea about the precipitation. Temperature can shows you in your website through highest amount and lowest amount. That means maximum and minimum temperature. And most of the cases we do like to see it in a Celsius or in a Fahrenheit scale. That depends on the locations. Feels like, this is another interesting things. For example, this means, feels like means, uh, rather than the real temperature by the instrument, how you can feel it by your own. At the outside, if it is now it is 30 degrees centigrade, what is the, if you go outside by your feelings, how much you can get it. Maybe it is 31 or 32. Why it is different? Because the, you are influenced by the other factors. Maybe the wind is not too much blowing, so that you can feel more warm. Or maybe in a chilly night, in a chilly night, maybe the temperature is in somewhere it is -5, so you can feel it -7 because the wind is blowing. So feels like temperature give you the idea about your feelings, about your feelings. So you can understand it, and you can get this information from the website UK Met Office. They also give you the idea feels like. Another one is wind direction. That means what is the speed of the wind, and from where to where it moves. You can see this symbol, and you can understand the wind is moving with this way, southerly. That means from south end the wind is moving. Okay, and this is sometimes this is not written as north south and only east west. They can also be north and northwest, and north and south and southeast. So like this way they can also be shown in your website more specifically. Wind gust, that means what is the maximum amount of the wind it can be blow in a particular time. Okay, and then visibility. What would be the visibility in a particular time, in a particular time, in a particular area. That means how long you can be seen, it can be seen by your open eyes. So it can also be distinguished between different names. Like BP means very poor, which is your visibility is less than 1 kilometer. And excellent means it is greater than 40 kilometers. Okay. Uh, that means you can see it very clearly. The whole of the area you can see by your open eyes. Sorry. Another important aspect is UV radiation, because you know that UV radiation is very harmful for our body, and it can causes many health effects. So some of them also very also shows these, that what is the condition of the UV radiation at present context. So if it is green in color, so you can understand it is safe and low. If it is like this symbol, just gray and just that means no significant UV, that is much more fine, safe. But if you see this one, this indigo color, then it is extreme. Okay, extreme UV. That means it is 11 in a positions of ranking. So for example, in your website, if you wanted to make it very specific, that I should say it is 9 or 8, rather than that they categorize it like very high, 8 to 10, so that people can just see the color and they can understand it, rather than to go very inside information. Because these websites is meant to be used by the all type of audience. So you should not be very keen and very specific for a particular numbers. All you need that whether I can use it or not. Okay, and this means no data. You see, this is white and a cross from right to left. So that is a no data symbol. Sometimes air pollution also included in here. Although in each of the country we do have some air quality index. Here is also same like structures. So each of the color they shows a different sets of air quality index. Okay. And you see from here and here a little bit different because there is no number in here, only color. And what the color means, you can see that. Some of the areas is also very much problematic for the pollen grains during a particular time of the season, particular time of the year. So many websites give you the idea about the pollen grains content in the air at present context. Sorry. Pressure pressure symbol can be very important in your particular type of chart. In the last classes we have already discussed about the different type of fronts that can give you the idea about the air masses. And air masses is also important because air mass can give you the idea what would be happen within couple of hours, and what is the condition of the present context of your humidity and temperature of this atmosphere, which gonna trigger your rainfall or maybe your temperature. So all of them is very important, closely related to different type of fronts. So if you see this front, then the symbols, then you can understand the condition very well. Sometimes it is also included that it is a low pressure center or a high pressure center, that can be also included. And that is very much important because in case of low pressure you can understand that there is how what is the differences between the inside and the outside of this layer, and so that you can also understand the storm is developing or not. Okay. So with this kind of information allows by the UK Met Office, this is all about. uh, Now I'm going to just describe few of the things. I have already been searched here the information of the Chittagong. You just see here very fast. Today it is 28 degree and 18 degree. That means this is highest temperature. This is lowest temperature. Okay. Sunrise, sunset, good information. And this is sunny day. It is written here. It is a sunny day. And here is UV is H. H means what? If you go there again, just go there. H means this is high. 6 to 7, your rating among the 1 to 11. Our rating is now 6 to 7. So if you go outside, it means quite a good UV radiation, and so that can also causes harmful effect on your skin. So you can understand it. Uh, in many countries, it is a very it is a very vital information. For example, in case of Australia and some of the Norwegian, Scandinavian countries, they need it very greatly because UV is much more causing problems in those type of countries like Australia and many others. But in case of Bangladesh, we don't actually care about that too much. But if you see high, that means it is much more vital information for us. Now this is just a very short information about today. So if you have no time, you can just see this and you can take your decision. Okay, this is a sunny day, I should go out. This is a cloudy day, I should take my raincoat or my umbrella. Or this is snowing, or this is a hail will be coming like this. So you can take decisions very quickly according to my view. So such like important information with a user friendly way, this is very important, and that's why UK Met Office is much more very easier to understand. On the other hand, later of this day, this is today, so you have much more other day. This is Tuesday 1 December, this is Tuesday, Wednesday 2, Thursday 3. So you can have much more information regardless of the next week. Okay, up to 7 days you can get this information. One thing should be remembered that the days that will come later, the chances of happening your prediction, that means your confidence level will be lower if you go from long time after. So your prediction would be much more reliable if you give your information within an hour or within a short period of time. So now it is at 12 11 o'clock, and maybe what would be happen in 12 o'clock, much more easier to predict. But if your information that should depend on 2 days information, and you will get the prediction for after 7 days, maybe there is a little bit chance, more chances that your prediction might not be good. So the more your prediction, what I mean to be that the the prediction for short period of time is much more reliable than the for a longer period of time. Now I'm going a little bit more in detail so that we can understand it. See this one. Now it is sunny. So can you remember this symbol? If you just go there, this means sunny day. So they just show this one. They don't say anything, just shows this information. Okay. And you can see after 5 o'clock, there is moon. That means the sun will gonna set up and moon will appear. And each of the time they divide it in after every 1 hour. In many cases these differences these intervals is much more longer. For example, in case of Bangladesh Meteorological Department, this interval is not on 1 hour. Sometimes it is, at best it is three hour, maybe 6 hours, sometimes it is 12 hours. But UK Met Office, you see, this is only 1 hour differences. So you can understand it, what will gonna happen within next hour or after 2 hours. So you can take your decisions more reliably, and that is more fruitful to, for your decision making. Chances of precipitation is only 5%. That means humidity is not too much. It is less than 80-90%. And then chances of precipitation means actually there will be no precipitation, but if you have any precipitation, maybe it will gonna only 5% chance. In every 100 cases, your chance is only 5%. Temperature, now it is 26 degrees centigrade. You can see the highest temperature will be 28, lowest will be 18 degree. So now it is 16 degree, and gradually it will gonna improve until this. It is 3 o'clock, and after 3 o'clock again, our temperature will be dropped down. And after 4 o'clock it is 26, 5 o'clock 25, and gradually it will be decreased up to certain times. So temperature can be seen in here very nicely. But with this temperature, you can also see the feel like temperature. Feel like temperature is a little bit more than the in here. In case of here, it is little bit more. For example, it is 26 degree, but if you go outside, you can get 28 degrees centigrade because of many other informations, because of many other conditions, wind speed and many other things. Wind is also very calm and quiet. You can see only 4 mile per hour. Wind gust is 10. That means maximum wind speed is 10. And wind is coming at this time. It is from northern side. So you can understand it, from northern side the wind is coming. From here north and northwest, here northwest, northwest, west, northwest. So from each of the corner they set different name, so that you can understand very definitely that from where the wind is coming.
Sir, what does those numbers refer to, sir? 434, this one?
This is mile per hour. This is mile
Okay.
per hour. So you can understand now the wind is moving average. This is an average. This is not real one. This is an average. So within this hour, the
Yes, sir.
average wind speed will be 4 mile per hour. But the maximum, it can be 10 mile per hour, but a very limited period of time. For example, for 5 minutes, it can be 10 mile per hour. Rest of the time maybe little bit lower, maybe 2 3, and average it will be 4 mile per hour.
Okay, sir.
Visibility, you can see VG. Now if you go there, VG, what does VG means? VG means very good. So in an open ice you can see 20 kilometer, very nice, good visibility you can see at the present context. But in the morning it was not VG, it was only 3 to 4 kilometer. So at that time it was 3 to 4 kilometer means here poor visibility. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, and then humidity, you can see the humidity is most of the cases it is less than 80%, 90%. So there is a less chance of the precipitation. At night, the humidity is little bit increased because of that time fog can be seen. So that's why it has been increased, but at the present context it is only 71, 65. So there is uh, humidity is very low. And UV you can see now it is 5, and after 1 hour it would be 6. And we can understand what does it mean, high and moderate. So UV radiation can be seen in here. So this is one website of the Met Office UK. What why I described it very elaborately, because this is a good website for all over the world. NOAA is another one, good one. I'm going to describe that now, and uh, then Bangladesh Meteorological Department. So you can take your decisions which one you can follow. Not you, I think I wanted to say for the users. So users will be more reliable on those website who have two different characteristics. One is reliable information, another is user friendly. So
Sir, Mate Office is more user friendly than any other one, sir.
if this is your maybe that is my view also, but many one
Yes,
also
sir.
like others one. For example, this is sorry, this one this is National Weather Service of USA. Okay. And this is governed by the NOAA, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. So this is their websites, and they can shows their information like this. These information, how they shows, you can see the colors. There are some legends in here. And what does it meaning, what does it mean? You can get the information from here. For example, current air temperature, what is the dew point, how the sky has been covered. So they have listed different these symbols. For example, if it is fully black, then completely overcast. If it is like this way, then 5/10, that means half of them covered. Then wind speed has been described by their own representation is with different symbols. Here you can see knots. Knot means 1 knots is equal to 1.85 kilometers. Okay, per hour. 1 knots mean 1.85 kilometers per hour. Now we can understand if it is uh, 8 knots to 12 knots, then the symbol is like this, on horizontal line and on little bit inclined line. With this, you can get the information maximum in here. You can see 103 to 107 knots. You can see two triangles and one smaller inclination. So this is their way how they describe. Now, according to my view, it is quite a good one, good differentiation. But the most of the cases, the general people, they might be confused about this one, because they have to go every time and they have to understand it. Okay, the people can, maybe it is little bit tougher to memorize all of them at a time. And who will gonna care about that, because people don't want it to uh, wanted to get the complex information, they want more simpler way to see. Visibility is, it can be written down. Pressure tendency, sea level pressure, it is very important things, because the differences between two pressure can give you the idea of the disruption of the weather. So that can also be seen in here. So if you see this one, you can see this is high pressure, this, there are some low pressure zones, and also they shows the front. This is cold front, this is occluded front, or this is warm front. Everything has been included in here. They can also show the past weather. That means what happened during last couple of hours, last 72 hours, what happened, 6 hour precipitation totals. So many things they can be included. But yes, for example, they also shows the different cloud differentiations sometimes. If you see this type of structures, it is a cumulonimbus cloud. So you can understand that what will gonna happen more specific, no? So if you have more specific information, then you can understand more clearly about that information. But the problem is, it could be reliable, but it is not very user friendly. Sorry. So most of the time people will be confused, and they are not very much habituated to go into very deep depth understanding, and they segregate each of them. Can you see this one, high cloud? So if you see these symbols, it is dense cirrus like this. So it is much more little bit different than others. Fraction of a sky cover, height of the cloud base. So many things can be included. So information is great here, but it is not for all of the audience. Particularly, it is suitable for those like ours, like who are much more interested about the meteorological knowledge, or who can use this for their education and research purposes. Another thing is sample station plot. What are the things they can be included? So in case of NOAA, Weather Prediction Center, they have such like information. See this one. So this one is wind, as I showed before. This is their temperature in Fahrenheit, 57. So NOAA shows their temperature in Fahrenheit and miles per hour, and different others way. Weather 3 dot. What does it mean? That is the explanation here. 3 dot means it is a moderately or light, moderate rain actually. Rain but moderate, 3 dots. So moderate rain. Dew point is 56 degree Fahrenheit. Sky cover is open. Here is the meaning in here. And pressure 10 to -6, and their symbol is like this. Sea level pressure is 107. So each of them, they have now explanation in their meaning now. See this one. Okay, sky cover and everything. Okay, so how it can be shown? It can be shown like this. And if you are more wanted to know a specific city, so this is all over US. If you go for the more specific city, for example, this one is from Newark Mills, Wadena Municipal Airport. Okay, so what are the information in here? The uh, it is fair environment, 18 degree Fahrenheit, but very nicely they also said that it is -8 degrees centigrade at present context. So they showed Fahrenheit and Celsius also, okay, to make you more understandable. And they give the information in a written form in here. See this one. Humidity 79%, wind speed northwest 5 miles per hour, barometer, that, dew point, visibility, wind chill, last update, and very good information in here. But maybe it is more good information in here. But how can, yes, maybe some people like to read that. So this is another way to interpret what would be the best way to represent. And now the detailed weather forecasting is in a written form in here. And many others way, you can also get the information through chart, through graphs, and many others. If you go to the website of Bangladesh Meteorological Department, you can find the information little bit different way. This is Bangladesh Meteorological Department. See this one. This is our website. And if you see this one, it is written everything in a written form in here. The information which I collected, it is not today's. It is last weather forecast valid for 24 hours commencing from 6 p.m. today. Okay, so this weather forecast has been given from 6 p.m. of yesterday, and it will gonna fully covered for today's 6 p.m. as it is said 24 hours valid. So validity is for 24 hours. So it is a widespread one. And for example, if you go for Chattogram from here, you can get some rainfall, maximum temperature, minimum, and these are three basic information you can get from here. But the problem is you don't have any information within these 24 hours. So in 24 hours, if you have some rainfall for a couple of 1 to 3 hours, and then the rest of them are very free from rainfall, you cannot get this information from here. In case of Bangladesh Meteorological Department, they also now improved a little bit for real-time decisions. For example, let's see this one. Uh, this, oh, sorry, not this one. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. This one. So you can see this one. This is a temperature of the 6 a.m. of what is the time now? Let's see. Is it has been improved or not? Let's see. Yes, it has been improved. So it was 6 a.m. So after 6 hours, it has been improved. Now it is 12:13. So I should go in English a little bit. Yeah. So it is now 29 degrees centigrade in case of Dhaka. Okay. You can change it for Chittagong here, Chattogram. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So now it is 30 degrees centigrade. Okay. Maximum temperature 31, minimum 19. So it is for 6 hours. Okay. At 12 p.m. What was the situation? You can see sunny day, visibility, it said 5 kilometer now. I don't know it is okay or not. Maybe it is an average visibility. Humidity 57%, minimum temperature 19 degrees centigrade, and you can see the time frame here. Here is another thing is also in here. What was the condition in last 72 hours? You can see a little bit from here. And I don't know what does it mean in here, sun and moon structures. But you can also see some graphs. For example, temperature graphs in centigrade. Uh, in case of 3 a.m., 6 a.m., 9 a.m., after every 3 hours, what is the condition of what was the condition of the temperature, okay, and also humidity. So you can see also the rainfall, but as there is no rainfall, that means it is 0, 0, 0. So this is the current inclusion of Bangladesh Meteorological Department. You can see the minimum temperature was recorded in Tetulia and maximum is in Cox's Bazar. So the difference is 10 degrees centigrade and 32.6 degrees centigrade. This is a recent addition in Bangladesh Meteorological Department. I think little bit it has been improved because at the very last time we have seen this type of information, and if you have these structures in the left side, you can go directly from forecast system. You can go from here. So weather forecast, Dhaka and North, divisional forecast, climate model. go for weather divisional model here. Let's see. Yes. So in each of the divisions here, like Chattogram, sky is temporary, partly cloudy. Forecast weather may remain dry over the area. Little fog may occur at places over the area during early morning. Temperature, night and day temperature may remain nearly unchanged over the area. Yesterday's maximum temperature and minimum temperature. So these are the information included for each of the divisional settings. Okay. You can also get some weather forecast of different systems. So as a whole, that means it has been written as a whole, everything in here, rainfall, maximum and minimum. So detailed information is not in here. So you can get detailed information from NOAA or maybe other websites, but I described in Met Office. For example, here it is Chittagong, but if you can just write down Dhaka, Bangladesh, and then you get the information for each of the hour. So it has been changed. You can see now. So the way how you wanted to describe, this is your choice. The way you wanted to show your information, that should be first reliable, and then that should be very user friendly. So now the question is how my information will be more reliable, how our weather forecasting should be more reliable. Weather forecasting is two things, which is real-time data that is taken from any weather station. Okay. For example, now it is 12 quarter past 12. Uh, what was recorded in 12 o'clock in a particular station, you can get that, and that is very accurate, and that is 100% right. The temperature, sunshine, humidity, everything from that station. But when you wanted to describe the temperature of tomorrow or the next hour or the next hour or the next hour, or maybe after 5 days, then you have to dependent on models. This is your prediction. And when you say prediction, that means the information is not in your hand, but based on your basic information right now, you can guess something. So you dependent on models. Models are nothing but a sets of logic, a logic of physics, chemistry, mathematics, everything in there, so that they can get the inputs and they analyze the logics by themselves and they give you the outputs. That is model. And if your model is very good, if your data sets are more reliable, if you have more data sets, then your model output is also very reliable. But if your model is not good, you don't have enough data sets, and maybe your experience, your skill is not good, then your prediction will not also be good. So that's why model, when you say model, then always there is uncertainties in there. So you should have some uncertainties always. This is not 100% right. Model is always difficult because you are depending on your information, which is maybe not 100% correct, which was taken differently, which is coming from different sources, and many others. And maybe you don't have all the information by your hand so that you can get the information according to your needs. So that's why model is very important, how we can describe it. Can you understand it? I can give some example, like what do you mean by model? I gave this in examples many times, like you wanted to go from Ifescu to 0 point. Okay. So my question is, what is the time you require to go from Ifescu to Dhaka? Ifescu to 0 point. How many minutes do you need? What is your answer?
10 minutes, sir.
Sorry, 10.
Yes, sir.
Why? Why it's 10 minutes? Why not it is 2 minutes?
Sir, sometimes it depends on the transport.
Yes, that is the most one of the information.
Yes,
So
sir.
you depend on, if you depend on your leg walking, then it might be 10 to 15 minutes. If you going by rickshaw, maybe 2 to 3 minutes. If you go by car, maybe 1 to 1.5 minutes. So depending on your transport, and mind it, transport is only one information. Okay. uh,
Yes,
think
sir.
about think about little bit differently. If I ask you, well, you have the information that you are going by your foot. Okay, that's fine. So what is your answer? Your answer is 10 minutes. Okay. So now the question is, uh, if if not you, someone else, is it is true? Is it true for that person also?
No,
Maybe
sir. He can
no.
recover more or less minutes than me, sir.
Yes. Yes. So information is different. So depending on information, your answer is also different. So think about a little bit another things. Uh, every day you need 10 minutes, but all of a sudden you don't have this information in your hand, but maybe some other people, they have the information that in the middle of the road, maybe in the South Campus Mosque, in front of the South Campus Mosque, there was a barricade in that day. Okay. So you started from 0 point and you say, yes, I need 10 minutes, and you move quickly. And at the South Campus Mosque, in front of that, there was a barricade. There is a barricade, and you have to go all along through the left side. And maybe you have to go from all the way around to Ladies Hall, then the Shohid Minar, and then Kata Pahad, and then 0 point. Then maybe another 15 to 20 minutes more you need. So your prediction is not correct for that day. Why? Because you did not have the information that there is a barricade in there. Is it okay? So,
Yes.
so logic is one thing. Another thing is information. So many times we don't have particular that type of information. So maybe we are predicting tomorrow there will be a rain, but all of a sudden that is a rain, but hail, not rain, precipitation, not as a rain, but as a hail, because we did not have the information before, so that we our prediction was not fully correct. It is a precipitation, but it is not a hail. We said it is a rainfall. It would be a rainfall, we said, but when it has been happened, you saw it as a hail. So you need the more information to have a good prediction system, to have a good model run. Another thing is you need a good experience and skill also to run a model. Many things in front of you. uh, when they will ask you about the question, maybe it is you can only answer, because there are many things that can be happen, that is based on your experience. Maybe when I ask you, what is the time you required for a rickshaw to move from Ifescu to 0 point, and if you have enough experience, then you can say, well, um, it could be 1 minute, or maybe 1.5 minute, or maybe if you go that particular rickshaw, you need 3 minutes, because that particular rickshaw, they don't have enough charge in their battery. You had the information before, so you knew it before, and then you input it. With your experience, you are saying it will not gonna happen. Within 1 minute you cannot reach there, within 2 minutes you cannot reach there, because that particular rickshaws battery is not good. I knew it. I had the experience before. I was with that person, that rickshaw before, so I knew it before. So that is your experience. So many things can change your decision. That's why when you say any type of model, then model is always with some uncertainties. Is it okay for you? Can you understand it?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Sorry. If you have any question regarding my lecture, just please ask me. Okay. so that I can make you more understandable in your own way. So that maybe all of the answers I don't have at this time, but if you ask me, I'll try to answer it. So these are the information that I required, and then put it in a model, and model will give me the answers, these answers. And your answer will be more accurate if your prediction is only for the short period of time, maybe only for today. If you run the model, you can get the more appropriate answers. If the next day your prediction is little bit less chance, next day little bit less chance, next day less chance. So the day from today, you go for more far from today, your chance will be more very less than today. So that's why we are very much interested about the weather prediction. Another thing is, there is a difference between these weather forecasting and the climate prediction. Climate prediction and weather forecasting is two different things, and their model and their information is also different. Because in case of weather prediction, it is much more dependent on the time of reliable time and reliable information of current period of time. On the other hand, climate model, which can be seen after 30 years after or 50 years after what will gonna happen, it would be more difficult to make any comments, because within these 50 years many things can be changed, many logic can be changed, which I gave example in case of rickshaw and walking and everything. So with that way, many information, many technologies, and many things will be changed within another 30 to 50 years. So climate change prediction is much more tougher than it. So we are not interested about at this moment about the climate prediction. We are interested about the weather forecasting. And that's why these particular organizations is very important to understand. Okay. So maybe you can ask me why Bangladesh Meteorological Department are not using user-friendly information. Yes, they are going to be, but maybe their skills, their technologies, and their information is not so available, so that they can go for that one. But in case of UK Met Office or maybe the NOAA, they have much more information on their hand. So Bangladesh Meteorological Organization can give you only these sets of user-friendly things. But if you see the UK Met Office, they can give more reliable information and more informative way to show their results. I'm going to discuss about another topics, but before that, I should ask you if you have any question regarding this weather forecasting not system, weather forecasting representation. Do you have any question until now?
Sir, there is a question in the chat box, sir.
Ah, okay. Let's see. Mm. No, I did not. I did not find anyone. No question.
Sir, there was asked, sir, how do they determine field like temperature?
Okay, but why I could not see that? Oh, why I could not see that? Anyway, oh, feels like temperature is not only temperature. Feel like any information means your system or your machine, they show the correct information according to the definition. That means the real temperature may be like now it is 30 degrees centigrade. Okay, so this is your machine temperature. But when you go outside, okay, you should feel 30 degree, but maybe the wind has been stopped. Okay, and maybe the UV is much more. Maybe humidity is very high, very low. So you feel it is 32 because of other factors. Okay, so that's why feels like temperature determine based on your other information, not your temperature information. Another example is, maybe you are in a very cold countries. Maybe it is now -5 degrees centigrade and the wind is blowing, okay, high humidity, and you are outside. Then your machine temperature is -5, but you feel much more temperature, lower temperature, and it is -7. So how you can feel that? So your understanding, maybe it is -7. Okay, can you understand that? So this way, the feel like temperature has been determined on the basis of the other factors. Can you get that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if you don't have, do not have any other question, may I go to the next topic?
Okay, sir.
No. Maybe. Okay. So the next topic is Beaufort wind scale. Beaufort is the name of a admiral, Francis Beaufort. In 1806, that person introduced a wind chart. Wind chart means that person graded the wind in from 0 to 12 categories. Okay, and each of them, he showed actually couple of information based on the wind speed. Okay, so based on the wind speed, he showed the different characteristics of the environment. So he showed two different scale is same, but two different systems. One is on the land surface, another is on the ocean surface, on the water surface. He showed the information, how it look like. For example, if the wind speed is 10 kilometer per hour, what are the nature of the leaves of the trees? What is the nature of the wave of the ocean? Okay, so like that way he showed this scale, which is named as Beaufort wind scale, and it was widely accepted by the international practitioners. And nowadays we are using a different units rather than to say directly to the kilometers. We do say knots, KNOT. 1 knot is equal to 1.85 kilometer per hour. So when you say 5 knot, that means you have to multiply 5 with 1.85 kilometer per hour. Okay. So Beaufort scale is divided the values with different 12, 0 to 12 categories. That means 13 actually. So when it is a 0, that means the average temperature, average wind speed is very low, 0. And in that cases, if you make any smoke, the smoke rises 90 in a 90-degree angle vertically to the upwards. When it is 1, that means the wind speed is 2 to 5 kilometer per hour. Then you can see the direction of the smoke. When it is 2, that means wind, you can feel it by your face. When it is 3, the leaves, small twigs started to in a motion. That means a constant motion is going on, and the value is 13 to 20 kilometer per hour. When it is moderate, that time dust and leaves raised up, and branches also move, not only leaves, the branches also moves. So this is the observations on the land. Similarly, if you have fresh breeze, strong breeze, moderate gale, GALE, gale means uh, ups and downs of the motions. So wind movement. So moderate gale means whole trees in motion. You can see that among the whole trees, not in a particular portion of the trees. And similarly, if you see each of them, after 75 plus mile or 120 kilometers, more than 120 kilometers per hour, you can say this is a cyclone, or you can say hurricane. And that is meant to be that the weather is very violent and they can distract, these weather can distract many things. And trees can be broken within 10. 11 is like a storm. So he mentioned these couple of different segments, 0 to 12, 13 different stages, and he divided it on the basis of speed of the wind. And now we introduce the north in here also, so that you can also understand that things. You can have a very good example with this chart with uh, uh, cyclone signal. Sorry. In cyclone signal, we do also have like number three signal or four signal. What does it mean? Five signal. What does it mean? It means the wind, the the characteristics of the wind. That means what is the speed of that wind, and from that speed, how much destruction can be possible in the land or in the ocean. So if you say, well, for example, if you say it is the three number signal on the land, maybe it's okay. But if it is said three three number signal in the ocean, then maybe the ocean dwellers, some of the business dwellers or working dwellers, working man, fishermen, and many others, they need to be careful that they should come back to the coast so that they can be safe. So these type of things only dependent on the speed of the wind. Although this is not in your syllabus that what is the condition in your in the ocean, but you can also see the differences. If it is 0, then your sea is like a mirror, that means no movement. If it is for example 5, moderate waves, many white horses, that means many waves you can see. If it is 10, like very high waves with long overhanging crest, that means the crest you can see very high. And 11 means violent storm, exceptionally high waves, and 12 means cyclone. You can see there is a difference between this 10 and 11, because in here, uh, in case of land, in 11 that is a storm, but in case of water, 10 is a storm. Why? Because most of the cases, these winds has been started to grow on the sea surface rather than the land surfaces. So when it has been started, that means it can be changed very quickly. And that's why in case of 10 and 11, they segregated it is a storm and violent storm. And more than 11, that means more than 120 plus kilometer per hour, we say this is a cyclone. And that time the air is filled with foam and spray, sea completely white with driving spray, and visibility very seriously affected. So this is the way how that person described and how most of the people used this type of information before. Nowadays we have many different other types of signal system for cyclones and others, but the basic is the same. They are much more dependent on the wind speed and many other information also. So I think I should stop here today, and maybe in the next day we are going to describe about the process of weather forecasting. What are the different knowledges we need, how it can be, what are the things we need to go for good weather forecasting system, and many others. And now if you have any question, you can ask me, and we'll come back in the Wednesday maybe. Do you have any question regarding today's lecture or class? No question.
No, sir.
Okay. Um, okay. So in the next class, we are going to discuss about the weather forecasting. And until now, I have already been uploaded the some of the information in the Google Classroom. So what you can do, you can go there and download it and make you understand what does each of them means. And if you have any question, then you can ask me again.
Sir, this
Okay.
chapter is chapter 6 in our syllabus, sir.
Sorry,
Sir, this chapter is chapter number 6 in our syllabus.
is it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so can you just give me a your syllabus? Just take a picture and just you can
Sure, sir.
send me. Okay, okay. Let me see. Anyway, so you should have much more understanding about that, so that you can be more habituated with the weather forecasting system. And then if you wanted to go more inside depth, maybe later in your education semester, late semester, you can understand it more, or maybe in the research you can include that things. So thank you all joining me, and maybe in the Wednesday we'll come back again. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum assalam.